Hi, everybody. Mary Brown here, Vice President of Certification for the Tarot Guild and host of the Mystical Musings and Psychic Saturday show on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. I'm going to do a short review, at least I intend for it to be short, of the Antique Anatomy Tarot by Claire Goodchild. This is one that I got off Amazon a couple months ago. And this is the mass market version of the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck. I didn't realize that there was another version, like an earlier version, the original version, that I think was available maybe like through Etsy or maybe the author's website, something like that. But I didn't realize that there was another version out there. Until I was watching a video like maybe like a few weeks ago. I feel like it wasn't that long ago of it was the Hermits Cave channel on YouTube, and Simon had received a copy of the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck. It didn't come in this big kit. It was like in a little bag or maybe like a little box. I don't exactly remember. But what really struck me was how different the deck he had was from this deck that I got off of Amazon. And I guess what it is like this is the the mass market version, and yeah, there's going to be differences. So look, a lot of times when a deck is like a limited release or just a release through the author's website, they don't have a big publisher behind it or whatever, and then the deck later gets mass produced, sure, there's going to be differences. A lot of times there's difference in the most of the differences are like in the printing, right? In the cardstock, maybe the packaging is different than what the original is. But for me, it was like way different. It was like looking at a totally different deck from the one that I got. Same idea, same concept, really, as far as the theme of the deck, but the imagery was so different, especially in the major arcana. And I have to say, what Simon was showing on the Hermit's Cave, I like that imagery better, especially for the major arcana. It made more sense. I think it worked better. So that's one of the reasons, because it's like I wanted to do this video was just kind of to like run through the cards and like show like this is what I'm talking about. This is why I feel like I got a totally different deck and not just the mass market version. But anyway, so let's get into it a little bit. This isn't going to be too in-depth of a review. I really just want to kind of show the cards so you can see what the difference is. If you happen to be one of the lucky ones, apparently, who has the original deck, this is what the difference is now in the mass market version. If you were thinking of getting an extra copy of the same deck, you could get an extra copy of the Antique Anatomy Tarot, but it really isn't going to be the same deck. Okay, and I'll show you why that is. But anyways, just to kind of go over the basics, the packaging. This is actually great packaging. I love the packaging of it. Here's a guidebook, about 79 pages that it comes with. In some ways, this is a really nice guidebook because it does have, color images of the cards instead of just like a black and white. In the like what, half of a page per card as far as the meanings. There's like associations included as well. It's not a bad book at all. Okay, so I do take issue with some things, like in the beginning, they start to talk, Claire Goodchild, the author, starts to talk about correspondences with the tarot deck that she wants you to keep in mind when reading the cards. And again, she includes those associations, correspondences in the description of each of the cards, which is fine. My issue maybe is with just mainly this section on numerology and tarot, because she refers to numbers 1 through 10 as master numbers, which I think could be kind of confusing, kind of like off-putting for people that are, say, numerologists that are now getting into tarot, or people that practice both modalities, that's going to be kind of off-putting, because it's not really generally how numerologists refer to master numbers. They don't think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 as master numbers. It's more like 11, 22, 33, etc. But we don't have to get into all of that, but it did kind of like it irk me a bit. And because she takes it a step further, and she talks about and includes with the description of each card, she includes like what the companion cards are. And she says she's using a master number formula to come up with these companion cards. And I just feel like it's annoying. But whatever, maybe that's just my gripe about it. Other people, it may just not, bother them. The reason I got this deck was because I liked the concept. I liked what I saw posted on, Amazon, the idea of it, using these images from, medical, how does she describe it? Here, let me just use her description. So what did she say? She said, I've always been, this is like her inspiration for doing the deck. I've always been fascinated by the Victorian era and the medical and spiritual curiosity of the Victorian people. Let's see, during this time, people could go to the local apothecary for an herbal remedy, straight to a table tipping party to try to contact spirits. I was drawn to the imagery that was prevalent at the time, and which would have been seen by the general population. I found anatomical images from medical texts and to create the base of each card, then combined those with plant images from botanical journals using digital collage techniques. This deck is my homage to the original artists, healers, and mystics of that era. So, that's cool. A lot of people really who are into tarot or into Victorian themed decks. There's a ton of them out there. And so, I can see why, this would be appealing to a lot of people. And maybe why it was appealing to me. I like the idea of, going through these old texts and in journals and stuff, and using the imagery from that. I thought, this will be a really cool deck. And I don't know, I'm still on the fence about how I feel about it. Going through the book a little bit more, besides the numerology part that kind of irked me, the next correspondences she talks about are astrology and tarot. That's fine. There's a few different systems of correspondences out there for astrology. I don't have an issue with what she uses in here. Elements in the tarot, that's great to include that. I think it's important. Color in the tarot is interesting, because she talks about, different, what different colors that she uses in these decks, what those associations are, like red, anger, passion, love, sex, danger, orange, creativity, expression, fun, success. I feel like it's fine. Not a problem. And especially this is for the minor arcana, because she says each of the suits of the minor arcana has its own color family association. The black and white of the blades, which, it's a suit of swords. There's nothing wrong with changing it to blades. Reflect the harshness of the suit and our ability to process both negative and positive thoughts. The elixirs feature blues, pinks, and purples, which represent the dreamy, emotional qualities of the suit. The oranges, yellows, and reds of the rods, also the suit of wands, are lively and energetic and express the creative aspect of the suit. The yellows, purples, and blues of the coins, also known as pentacles, that point to the material nature of the suit, which focuses on wealth and luxury. Okay. She has a section there on caring for your deck, which, may be useful, to some people. Maybe not. It really depends. She talks about initiating your deck, cleansing your deck, preparing an altar, how to store your deck properly, some people might, agree with that. Some people won't. I think like most of us, you get a deck of cards, you're going to treat it how you treat it, regardless of like what the book says. We all have our own way, don't we? And she includes some spreads, the 1 card spread, 3 card spread, kind of the usual moon cycle spread. Not groundbreaking, but, kind of cool to include in that. And of course, the Celtic cross, because nobody can avoid putting the Celtic cross spread in their guidebook for whatever reason. And then we get into the major arcana. And again, I don't have a problem with any of the meanings of the cards. I really don't. I think it's fine. For a 79-page guidebook, this is pretty nice, actually. And the packaging of the whole thing is pretty nice. I mean, the box is a nice lift top box, pretty sturdy. Got this sort of like architectural little thing going on. And what's great is these pieces of cardboard in here that kind of keep the cards in place in this bigger box, are glued in. It's a little bit stiffer cardboard. It's not the flimsy stuff that like falls apart as soon as you open it. So that's good. I mean, it's really a pretty nicely put together package, and a good box. I mean, I'll keep the whole set together in this box. Part of the reason I will do that is because I just don't anticipate working with this deck a lot. I'm just on the fence about how I feel about it, really. But let's look at let's flip through the cards, because that's what, the main reason. Sorry, it's kind of chilly where I am, even though I've got the beach behind me. But here you can see, if you have the original deck or you've seen the original deck and you're thinking like, oh, here's my chance to get it, you can see what the differences are if you're familiar with that original imagery. Now, look, I did like the imagery I saw in Simon's video better, for the major arcana. But the thing I do like about this is I do like the addition of color in the botanical flowers and the bright colors. I think they really pop with that sort of sepia background and those anatomical drawings, but some of them, to me, it's like I feel like they just don't work that great for me. But here we have the Fool, and that's fine. I don't really have too much of a problem with that. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Often with the Fool card, we say it's like, take a leap of faith. We look at is he going to jump off the cliff? Is he falling off the cliff? Does he know what he's doing? And this kind of makes me think more like, put your best foot forward, right? Because how can you sort of not think that when you see that? But that's okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. The Magician, yeah, I'm just sort of okay with the Magician card. Look, you've got, the ouroboros, the infinity symbol, which is usually over the head of the magician and the Rider-Waite. Here it really does look more like just like an 8 and not the infinity symbol. You've got the hand up. I mean, it's fine. It's okay. The High Priestess, I just don't like it. Where's the High Priestess? The Empress card, I guess it's okay. Especially when you look at the Emperor card, I mean, it's fine. The names, the titles of the cards are on the bottom, so it's like, if it doesn't pop into your head, you can just read what it is on the bottom. We have the Hierophant, so I guess that kind of looks like a cross with those bones. I suppose it's fine. The Lover's card, it's a heart. I guess that's okay too. Chariot card, what are these, like 2 different like horse skulls or something, I suppose. It's fine. The Strength card, I guess it's like a femur. I guess it's a strong bone or something. It's fine. I mean, I'm just not excited about it. The Hermit's okay. You got the candle on top, which kind of brings up the idea of the classical, hermit being depicted in some cases holding a lantern, so having a candle, that's fine. Wheel of Fortune, I think it's pretty good. You got the basic like around the wheel, those are the basic images of this representing each of the suits. That's okay. The Justice card, I mean, it's okay, right? What is that? A heart, I suppose. And so when you think of justice, you think of like that idea of like the scales with the heart on one side, the feather on the other. Maybe if they'd added a feather, maybe if they'd added scales, maybe something would have been, great. Because you also have a heart in the Lovers card too. You see like different chambers of the heart. I mean, or is that a brain? I don't know. I mean, like that's the problem. Like I don't really no. Okay. So there's a hanged man. That's kind of maybe that's a little bit too on the nose there. The skeleton hanging from the gallows. We definitely kind of get that. It's just that it's lacking it's lacking some nuance. With the hanged man, maybe it would be more helpful if he was upside down, and maybe if he had his legs making that number 4 kind of looking position. The death card with the sigh, that it's fine. The temperance card, I'm just not feeling it really. The devil card, I get it. The thorns growing out kind of look like horns, I guess, for the devil card. That's fine. The tower card's not so bad. It's just like sort of the tower of skulls there. The star card, not really feeling it. The moon card, kind of cool with the, shine kind of off of the, the back of the skull there. That's okay. The sun card with the yellow flowers, all right. The judgment card coming out of the coffin, yeah, that's kind of classic. I mean, that's okay. Then we have the world card, the 4 creatures around it, the skulls of different creatures. It's okay. The world dancer, just I guess it's fine. And then we get into the suits here, which the wands or rods, which nothing wrong with that. Like I never really have an issue with people renaming the suits. There's a lot of different decks out there where they rename the suits, and as long as it makes sense, and you can remember when you're doing a reading and you don't have to think, now, are these wands or these swords? What are these? Then, to me, that's like when it gets kind of iffy. But rods as wands is kind of classic anyways. There's a lot of decks that do that. There's the ace, and there's the 2 of wands, the 3 of wands, the 4, and for, like, I don't have a problem with pip decks. There's a few pip decks that I use that I don't have any kind of issue with. I love them, especially, them like, the Marseille decks, that are out there. Some people I've noticed are complaining because it's like, they're just the numbers and the symbols. And it's like, yeah, that's what a pip deck is. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't have, there's a lot of pip decks I like. I actually do like the pip cards in this. Now, this is sort of, this one, actually, this is the 8 of wands, and it kind of bothers me because it kind of changed the suit symbol, like when you look at it, like you go from the 7 of rods to the 8 of rods, and see how different the rods are. Like I feel like that's a little bit jarring, but again, it's written on the bottom of the card what it is, and so that's fine. You can figure it out. You don't even have to figure it out. It's right there on the card. But yeah, the imagery changing up like that suddenly is a bit jarring to me. There's a 9 of rods and the 10 of rods. Nothing wrong with that. Now, here we get into the court cards for the suit of rods, and the court cards just don't do it for me. There's the page of rods. There is the knight of rods. Here's the queen of rods and the king of rods. I don't know, not feeling it. Now, suit of cups, in this case known as Elixirs. You know, this is probably my favorite suit out of the minor arcana in this deck, you know. And whoops, I just dropped one of the cards. You gotta, excuse me, I gotta find it. It just like flew down there. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is the ace. You can see the love potion. So these are all like elixirs for the suit of cups, and I think it's great. You know, there's a 2. Okay, two of elixirs or 2 of cups there. Okay. 3 of elixirs. And yeah, I mean, I love the way the colors pop on this. Here's the 4. And I guess if there's anything, like, look, you know, some of these I feel like could have been different. I like the idea of elixirs, right? You know, the Victorian era, the apothecary, the medical texts, all of that, the little elixir bottles. I mean, yeah, that really works for me. But some of what these elixirs are doesn't necessarily work for me. This is the 4 of cups, right? And we've got arsenic, morphine, heroin, and cyanide. I mean, really, for the 4 cups? I don't know. Come on. And then we go from that into the 5 of cups, where, you know, a couple of these labels are obscured, but again, we have morphine and cyanide. Now, maybe morphine and cyanide maybe kind of work a little bit better for the 5 of cups than they do for the 4 of cups. And I just don't know. I feel like, you know, could have been done better. I know, easy for me to say. I didn't do all the work that Claire Goodchild did on this deck. So I could say, hey, you know, you should have done it better. You should have done it different. But I mean, yeah, I'm buying these decks. I feel like I want more. And then the 8 of cups, soul journey, let go potion. Let go potion kind of works. Wake up potion, maybe the void, or a cleanse, despair. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we halfway tried, right? But you know, that trying maybe paid off a little bit better in the wish card, the 9 of cups, when you see the wish potion and the joy and all of that. Okay, so that kind of works a little bit better for me. And then with the 10 of cups, you know, dreams, calming, happiness, love, passion, wisdom, harmony. You know, maybe a bit overdone, but it's okay. I mean, I just think this suit is pretty. Now, it's pretty, and then again, we get to the court cards where I feel like it just kind of falls down. You know, here's the page of cups, which is actually, you know, kind of cute, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. The knight, okay, the knight of elixirs. I keep calling them cups. They are the suit of cups, but in this deck they're referred to as elixirs. A beauty potion for the queen of cups. All right, and a calming tonic for the king of cups. But again, you know, look at that pop of color with the botanical illustrations like that. You know, look like the original deck that I saw in Simon's video. Like, it didn't have any color, and I think the color like adds a lot to it. It's a color that's gorgeous. I do love that part of it. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to like it. And there's some things I do like about it, I guess, you know. But anyways, you know, here's the blades. So the suit of swords is in this deck, the blades. There's the ace. There's the 2 blades. There's the 3. You know, just to give you an idea, there's the 4. We'll just kind of go through these. It's like, you know, and again, you know, some of these, the suit symbols change. So there's the 5, and then we go to the 6, and you can see like why do the blades have to be different? Why change it up? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't make this deck. I mean, again, titles are on it, so it's not impossible. That's 7. Then the 8 and the 9 of blades and the 10 of blades. I'm not crazy about that, really. And then we get into the page of blades. Okay. The Knight of blades. Again, the Knight of swords. Sword suit. The Queen of blades. Swords. And then, okay, this one I do kind of not like. And this is the King of swords. And it's it's almost comical. And I don't know. It just doesn't nothing about that feels like the King of Swords to me. But that's just me. And then here's the suit of coins, also known as pentacles, which, calling them coins is, pretty traditional, not a big deal there. There's the ace. And so the figures inside, the imagery on each individual coin in each card, it's kind of cool. They're different. I would say that, I feel like it's another area that kind of fell short, where there's more could have been done with that. But again, it's just my opinion. This is mainly just so you can see the cards. I mean, but look how beautiful. I mean, some of these are with the colors. The colors are what really gets me. That's just lovely, That was what was that? That was the 7. This is the 8 of pentacles, or coins, sorry, 8 of coins. Here's a 9. And the 10. The 10 is just really gorgeous, isn't it? And then the page, I don't know, the Knight. Is it the Knight now? The Queen of coins. And finally, the King of coins. So that's it. That's the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck. I'm still kind of on the fence about it. There's some things I like about it and some things that I just, I feel let down. Cardstock, I feel like I could just crumble it up. It's really thin and kind of flimsy. But look, that being said, I mean, I have other decks I have kind of flimsy cardstock, and yet, end up lasting, for a long time and end up holding up really well. So if I end up working with this deck, I guess we'll find out, if that's the case, and if they do hold up really well. If I end up falling in love with this deck and using it all the time and adding it to my list of working decks, then I will definitely, let everybody know about that too. I'm just kind of at this point, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm literally on the fence with this deck. But anyways, that is the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck, and I am Mary Brown. Please remember to tune in on Saturdays to the Psychic Talk Radio Network. Listen to the Psychic Saturday show. First Saturday of every month is the Mystical Musing show. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. If you go on Facebook to Psychic Talk Radio on Facebook, you'll find our group there. I post a card of the day every day there. You can keep up with all the different shows and all the different hosts and all the different things going on. And also check out the Tarot Guild on Facebook as well. We have a group there, and that's growing and growing. We're in the beginning, middle stages right now of relaunching the Tarot Guild website. So a lot of exciting things to look forward to there. So hope to see you guys there, either on Facebook, on YouTube, or on the air. Give us a call on our shows on Saturday. Call in for a mini reading. Call in to share your thoughts and feelings. Like and share this video. If you liked it, leave a comment. Just be kind. I mean, I'm sorry. I hope I wasn't too hard on this deck, but I just, oh, I had such high expectations, you know. Seven of Pentacles, right? You know, got to manage our expectations. Things don't always turn out the way we think they will. All right. Well, that is it for today, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye, everybody.